Hi everyone, and welcome to today's edition of your Edmonton Electrician. This is where we bring customer service back to the trades. So one of the big parts that we stand for is customer service, and if you're not being blown away by your current electrical contractor, maybe give us a call. Hey, we're core certified, we're WCB compliant. We have all of our insurances, whether liability, commercial, it doesn't matter. We've got you covered. So at the end of the day, you can rest easy knowing that your job was done well, quality, and it was done right by a quality commercial and residential electrical contractor. So for all your electrical needs, give us a call here at hauerpower.ca. 780-935-0622. Anyways, that's our contact info, that's our plug. But today we have an issue that we want to talk about. It is November 30th and we're getting into December, which means Christmas is here, which is great. Everyone loves Christmas. Black Friday is over, and now we're going into the number one thing that causes a lot of electrical house fires. So overloaded circuits are a big deal. Doesn't matter how old your house is, you can overload a circuit, and it doesn't matter what happens with your breaker, whether it's too old, whether it's just a dud or a lemon, your breaker might not trip. And that's a big issue when you're plugging in all sorts of inflatables, all sorts of decorations, when you have your Christmas tree plugged in, and when you have all this paper wrapping everywhere pushed up against your plugs, against your walls, against your outlets. If there's no surge protector in place, if your breakers are federal, they might not trip. If there's no surge protector, your breaker might not trip. And what that means now is you're going to have all this extra current that typically your system doesn't see. So typically you wouldn't know if your breaker's going to trip or not because it's just fine. It's just sitting there in your walls. It's fine. But if you have all this extra current during this time of year and your wires are all rated for 15, 20 amps, doesn't matter what it is, if you're piling them full of juice, then the wires are going to get hot. That's just environmental physics. That's just how that works. When the wire gets hot, it's not going to be rated for the right amount of current. It's not going to be rated for the right temperature. The whole job of your electrical circuit breaker is to protect the wire servicing your circuit. So it's not to protect your Christmas tree. It's not to protect your phone charger. It's not to protect your blender, your microwave, anything else that you have plugged in on a circuit. The whole job of that electrical circuit breaker is just to protect the wire feeding your device. So if you overload that circuit and that breaker isn't doing its job, that wire is going to get hot. Heat makes a fire. Now you have an electrical fire, and that's why December is the month where there's the most electrical house fires and business fires out of the whole year. The whole year, December. That's your reason. It's because of the holidays. It's because everyone plugs in everything. Maybe you got Christmas Day, you got people over, you're running a stove upstairs, a stove downstairs. Everyone's got their stuff plugged in, their heaters, their cookers, their hot tops. They got to keep their ham warm. It doesn't matter really why it happens, but it happens. It can happen any time of the year, and we've seen it, but Christmas is the most popular time for it. So we do emergency service calls. It's a little bit more expensive. Obviously, if it's in the off hours, evenings, holidays, we do have standby electricians on call ready for that. That's why it does cost extra money, but we are there for you if you need that. If you want to get ahead of the game and you say, hey, I'm gonna add some stuff on this circuit, and maybe it's tripped before, and you say, hey, I want to get ahead of the game and prepare myself, give us a call. We're happy to throw you in the schedule. We're happy to give you an estimate, free estimates, and we'll get that sorted for you there. We'll give you power. We'll get that figured out for you and put your mind at ease. If you do have an old federal panel and you need a service upgrade, again, we offer free estimates to Edmonton and area. So give us a call. We're happy to put you in the calendar, schedule it out, and we'll come out to your house, have a look. We'll give you exactly a price range of what you're looking for. We can narrow it down once we put it back on the computer, and we can go from there. Then we can book it out and get that solved for you and get rid of your old federal panel. That's a big goal of ours in 10 years, to get rid of as most federal panels as we can, because those federal panels are electrical fire hazards. It doesn't matter the age of home, business, facility, commercial, residential, whatever electrical system you have, if you have a federal panel, you want to get rid of it. They are known to be a hazard for a reason. Doesn't matter how old they are, they're known to be a hazard. So get rid of that, play it on the safe side. But I digress. Back to the issue of your overloaded circuits. when you plug in an octopus, you say, oh, that's great. I only have a duplex outlet, but I need to plug in my Christmas tree, my speakers, my my heating blanket, my space heater. When you start plugging in all these things into just whatever octopus, maybe you get it at the dollar store, you plug that in, that octopus isn't necessarily rated for the amount of current that can pull through it. If it doesn't say CSA, if it doesn't say UL, then you're really risking it. But if your breaker isn't going to trip and it's going to let 30, 40 amps flow through it, maybe even just 20 amps flow through it, and it's only rated for 15 amps, well, now it's not. If it's not rated, you're going to have issues, whether it's from heat, whether it's from contacts within the device being too close to each other. If you're going to have extra devices plugged in throughout your holiday season, you're going to want to have your system ready for that and rated for that. So give us a call. We offer free home electrical inspection walkthroughs. What that means is that if you say, hey, I have a light, I don't know what it's doing, I have a switch, I don't know what it's doing, or I have an old federal panel and I don't know how much it'll cost to change that out, but I've heard that they're bad. Give us a call, 780-935-0622. You can visit us at hauerpower.ca and book an estimate through info@hauerpower.ca. We're happy to answer our phones. We'll talk to a real live electrician, and we can't wait to give you power. That's why we're here. Customer service, helping you guys out. That's the whole point of it. It's just a big picture thing here. So give us a call and we'd be happy to send an electrician out and have a look at what your system needs, especially for the holidays. The last thing we want to see is another house fire that doesn't need to happen just because someone was not taking the right steps or taking the shortcuts. Or at the end of the day, if you do decide to upgrade some electrical in your system, it's always better to go with a licensed electrical contractor because they have the insurances so that, God forbid, something does happen, now you're covered. If you hire someone, Joe Blow, maybe your neighbor, he says, hey, I'm an electrician, I can do that for you. That's great. You can probably do a great job, but 99 out of 100 times, maybe that's going to go well, but you might be that lucky 1 out of 100 times where it doesn't go well. And in that case, you want them to have insurance. And if they don't, then no one's getting paid out for anything, and you're high and dry, and you're up to your neck in high water. So don't put yourself in a sticky situation. Hire a quality electrical contractor. Might be a little bit more expensive than your neighbor. That's the only downfall of hiring a professional. But at the end of the day, what's it worth to you, right? So again, back to the whole thing about Christmas outlets. If you put that octopus unit, you plug it into your wall, you know the kind I'm talking about. You got 6 outlets on that little plastic chunk that just plugs into your outlet on your wall. And you think, hey, I went from 2 outlets to 6 outlets. That means I got 3 times as much power. No, that's not the case. That's not the case at all. You're just adding more to a circuit that may not be rated for it. The code here, 2018 Canadian Electrical Code, that's valid here as of November of 2019. This is what we abide by. And this stipulates certain demands where your circuit cannot exceed. So if you're tripling the amount that your circuit was designed for, well, you're tripling the amount of risk that you're taking with your electrical system. Don't do it. Just have another circuit added. Hire an electrical contractor, hire a professional electrician, and get us to add a breaker, add some wire, add a box, and an outlet. It's not going to really rob you. It's not going to put you in debt, but it is going to help you out and get you where you want to be for your Christmas situation, whatever it may be. And it's going to just make your house or your business worth that much more in the long run, right? So if you decide that, hey, I want to take a shortcut, I want to plug that in, you're taking it into your own hands, that's totally fine. You bought the place, you do what you think is best with the place. That's totally up to you. We can't enforce this legally. However, if you want to take maybe a more practical shortcut, there are surge protectors out there, surge protective devices, and depending on what kind you get, you want it to be labeled as a surge protector. A power bar and a surge protector aren't necessarily the same thing. You can get power bars that are essentially the same as that 6 outlet octopus unit that we're talking about, but it's just in the shape of a bar instead. If you get a surge protecting one, that means it's going to have a little overcurrent device in it, a little fuse maybe, and that's going to trip if you reach 15 amps. So whether or not it's rated for that, whether or not it's going to cause you an issue, you got to be careful of what you're buying in that situation. But If it's labeled as a surge protector and it's labeled as a 15 amp overcurrent device, then maybe that's a little bit better for you, especially if you have a known area that it's going to trip. Maybe plug one of those in, and then you can plug your systems in, and it's still kind of a shortcut, and we don't want you to take it. But hey, if it beats putting that 6 outlet splitter on your wall and burning your house down, then we want you to take the better shortcut if you're going to take a shortcut at all. Again, as your Edmonton electrical contractor, we are your Edmonton electrician. We do provide a quality professional electrical service, and that's what we're here for. So call us anytime, day or night, 7 days a week, 24/7. We have on-call electricians staffed and ready to handle your needs. Our after-hours emergency services are a little bit more expensive. However, our daily services are extremely competitive. So get at us, 780-935-0622. You can contact us through email at info@hauerpower.ca. That's info@hauerpower.ca. And check out our website at hauerpower.ca. As your Edmonton electrician, our mission is to provide exceptional power through customer service and good quality work. So give us a call, see what we can do for you, and we look forward to hearing from you, and we look forward to giving you power. Have a great day, Edmonton and an area, and hey, take care. Stay safe out there.